Hello students, now after discussing the classification of the organisms into different kingdom, we already discussed the 2, 3 kingdom, 4 and 5 kingdom concept. Now we are going to start the kingdom one by one. So today first we are going to start the kingdom Monera. Yes, Monera include all unicellular organisms that are prokaryotic in nature. It must be specified the organisms which are prokaryotic in nature are only included in the Monera. Yes, these are unicellular organisms. These have nucleoid instead of nucleus. That means the genetic material of these organisms do not have the nuclear membrane. That is why they have the nucleoid. They have 70 S type of ribosomes. So they can be cultured in the laboratory by on the artificial media like the agar medium, or these have a single circular chromosomes also. So all single celled prokaryotic organisms will comes under the Monera. So we can say Monera includes the bacteria, cyanobacteria, archaeobacteria, mycoplasma, rickettsis and actinomycetes. Okay. So bacteria, we are going to discuss about the bacteria which are 1 micrometer to 10 micrometer in the length. Okay. So we can say Archaeobacteria is known as the oldest bacteria and Mycoplasma is known as the smallest organism which is found on the earth, that comes under the Monera. If we discuss about the bacteria, yes, bacteria are the organisms which can found everywhere, that means cosmopolitan in nature. Yes, these can found in the harsh conditions, these can found in the seas, in the oceans, in the glaciers, in the volcanic eruptions also, in the forest also, in the inside the organisms also. So these are known as the cosmopolitan nature. If we discuss about the shape, these are pleomorphic in shape. Pleomorphic, yes, these are found in the different shapes. That is why we have classified the bacteria into these types. First, coccus, yes, which are spherical in shape, yes, like this. Second is bacillus, which are rod shape like structures. Third is spirulum, which is coiled structures. Next is vibrio, that is coma shaped structures, and filamentous, that is we can say thread like structures. So coccus further classified into many categories. It will depend, these are found in the groups or in the chains. So micrococcus, which found in the single forms, I have mentioned this is the micrococcus. Diplococcus, where two coccus organisms are attached together and found in the group. Tetracoccus, where 4 coccus will attach. And next is Streptococcus, where coccus is found in the form of chains. Yes, in Tetracoccus these are in the form of 4 or tetrad, and in Streptococcus these are found in the chains. Next is the bacillus, which are rod-shaped bacteria, which are further divided into types. Monobacillus means, I can hear, monobacillus where only one bacteria is there. Diplobacillus where 1 and 2 are attached together. Streptobacillus where they will attach together and to form a number of chains. You can see here coma shape, that is the vibrio, include the vibrio cholera, that will cause the disease cholera, and filamentous, that is found in the form of threads. Example is Vegeta. But if we will see about the flagellation, the main characteristics of the bacteria, they have the flagella that will help in the locomotion. So on the basis of flagella also, they are divided into 6 types. First is Atrichus, which do not have the flagella. Yes, which are lacking the flagella, is example Lactobacillus. Monotrichus, which have single flagella. That is why I have mentioned monotrichus, single flagella. Example is Vibrio cholera. Next is Cephalotrichus, which have the number of flagella but only one end. Example is Pseudomonas. Next is Amphitrichus, where flagella are present on both the sides. Example is Nitrosomonas. Lophotrichus, coil-like structures like the spirulum, where flagella were attached on both the groups in the bunches. And next is Peritrichus. Example is E. coli, where flagella is found all over the body. So On the basis of the location of the flagella, bacteria is also divided into 6 types: Atrichus, Monotrichus, Cephalotrichus, Amphitrichus, Lophotrichus or Peritrichus. So we have divided the organisms, mainly we have divided the bacteria on the basis of shape and on the basis of flagella. Okay students, now we are going to discuss about the structure of bacteria. As we have started the kingdom Monera, and in the kingdom we have discussed about the different type of bacteria on the basis of shapes and flagella. But what is the exact structure of the bacteria? Yes, I have drawn a diagram here of the bacteria. Bacteria is consist of 3 parts. I have drawn the flow chart here also. Bacterial structure you can say consist of 3 parts: cell content, cell envelope and cell outgrowth. Yes, cell content include all those parts that are comes inside the membranes of the cell found in the cytoplasm, and cell outgrowth will include the external structures that will appear from the surface of the bacteria, and cell envelope include the membranes of the bacteria. So first we can say these bacteria is covered by the 3 layers. Yes, these 3 layers are is the innermost layer is known as the cell membrane. Okay, cell membrane. Then middle layer is known as the cell wall, and outermost layer is known as the cell capsule, and so many times it is also known as the slimy layer. Okay, after that we can say outgrowths will include the pili, cilia. I have mentioned here flagella, pili and cilia. So these black structures are known as the pili, then cilia, and this structure is known as the flagella. Okay, after that we can say what are the contents inside the cell. It includes the mesosomes, nucleoid, carboxysomes, sulfur granules, magnetosomes, cytoplasm, polyribosomes, polyphosphate granules, etc. So now we will discuss one by one. Cell content. It includes the first. It includes all those parts that is found in the cytoplasm. So first is nucleoid. Yes, nucleoid is the genetic material of the bacteria, that is the single circular chromosome. These do not have the nuclear membrane, that is why it is known as the nucleoid. Okay, second is the mesosomes. It will help in the respiration. Yes, respiratory structure of the bacteria is the mesosomes. Third is the magnetosomes. Yes, you just imagine that the bacteria, if it is live in the water, then how it will propel the gravity of the earth. Yes, it have some special structures known as the magnetosomes, which will help them to float against the earth's gravitational force. Next is the carboxysomes. Carboxysomes will help in the fixation of carbon, because what is the main food of the bacteria? Either they will take carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus. So they will break down the organic substance into individual inorganic components like nitrogen, sulfur, carbon. Then they need to fix that carbon, and main structure for the fixation of carbon in the bacteria is carboxysomes. After that there is a polyribosomes. Polyribosomes, ribosomes are known as the protein factory, and polyribosomes where a number of ribosomes will attach together for the making of the proteins. After that, polyphosphate granules are there. Polyphosphate granules will help in the fixation of the phosphorus, and sulfur granules that will help in the fixation of the sulfur, from the inorganic or chemical substance like hydrogen sulfide. Chemotropic bacteria will fix the sulfur from the hydrogen sulfide. So which will help the fixation of sulfur is the sulfur granules. So these are the content that is found inside the cell, and the ground tissue is known as the cytoplasm, that will contain all these structures. After that, cell envelope. Cell envelope, I have told you, include 3 layers: cell membrane, cell wall and capsule. Cell membrane is the innermost layer that is very flexible and made up of the lipids and the proteins. The middle layer is known as the cell wall. Cell wall is made up of the peptidoglycan plus teichoic acid. I can mention here also teichoic acid. This peptidoglycan is further made up of 2 parts, peptide plus glycan, and this glycan part is the sugar part, whereas peptido part is the part that is made up of NAGA and NAMA. Yes, NAGA means N-acetyl glucosamine. NAMA means N-acetyl-muramic acid. After that, we can say what is the capsule. Capsule is the structure that is not necessary that it will found in all the organisms. The bacteria which is virulent or which are pathogenic only have the capsules, and that will make, this is the capsule only that will make them pathogenic and able to cause the disease. That is why virulent bacteria have the capsule. Outside here, one sticky layer is also present outside the bacteria, that is known as the slime layer. Okay. Then outgrowths. Yes, what are the outgrowths arise from the bacterial surface? These are known as the flagella. Flagella is made up of a special protein known as flagellin. Pili is also made up of special protein known as pilin. Yes, flagella. What is the function of the flagella? You can see here is made up of two parts. One is the basal body that is attached to the membranes of the bacteria, and this is the outer structure known as the hook. So both basal body and the hook will together make the flagella. This flagella will help in the locomotion, that means in a specific direction. Pili is made up of a special protein known as the pilin. Yes, pilin. So what is the function of pili? It will help in the reproduction, because during the reproduction a special type of reproduction is there that is known as the conjugation, which will take place with the help of pili only. And third is the cilia that will help in the movements. So all these are the components of the bacteria, or we can say include the bacteria that comes under the monera. Okay students, after discussing about the structure of bacteria, now we will discuss about the reproduction of the bacteria and the types of bacteria. Yes, bacteria. Two type of reproduction is shown by the bacteria. First is asexual and second is sexual. As you know, in asexual only one parent is required to make the new organism. So it will follow the binary fission. Yes, I can write written here. Sporulation by the help of spore formation, and budding with the help of formation of bud. So that is known as the asexual reproduction. But sexual reproduction will take place by the three methods. First conjugation, second transformation, and third is transduction. First conjugation. Yes, you can say that the bacteria have a special structure that is known as the plasmid. Yes, plasmid. What is plasmid? Extra chromosomal part of the DNA which is found in the bacteria of the prokaryotes is known as the plasmid, and this is the plasmid which is only found in the bacteria, not in any other organisms on the earth. So the organisms which have this structure that is known as the plasmid is known as the male. That is why we can call it the positive, and it is donor also. And this black structure is denote the nucleoid. So what would happen? It will make its copies and then develop a sex pilus or the conjugation tube. So I can show here that this the structure with the help of formation of the sex pilus. I have told you about the pili that is made up of a special protein pilin, which is an outgrowth of the bacteria. So two pili of the two bacteria, one is of the donor and second is of the receptor, will join together to transfer the plasmid. So this part is known as the conjugation tube, by the help of which it will transfer the plasmid from the donor to the receptor. So this method is known as the conjugation because it is a temporary method. That means the bacteria will attach together with the help of pili for the temporary for some time period. That is with the help of conjugation tube is known as the conjugation. Second is the transformation. Yes, transformation, where genetic material of one bacteria is transferred into another bacteria with the help of a medium. Yes, we can say when we are performing the experiment in the laboratory, we can culture the bacteria into the medium, and if we can say the bacteria that will be dying, release the genetic material inside the culture media, and that genetic material will be transferred from the medium to the another bacteria. That method, the transfer of the genetic material from one bacteria to another bacteria with the help of medium from in the extracted form is known as the transformation. Example is the Streptococcus pneumonia, because Griffith was the scientist that performed an experiment for the transformation where the S strain that is causing the pneumonia will transfer the genetic material into the rough strain that is unable to cause the disease. That means Streptococcus pneumonia bacteria is found in the two forms. One is the S form and second is R form. S means smooth form and R means rough form. It will cause the pneumonia, that is known as the smooth, and that does not cause the pneumonia is known as the rough. So one experiment was performed by the Griffith where he has taken the heat killed smooth bacteria in the tube along with the rough strains of the pneumonia. So Streptococcus pneumonia, at that time what he found that the genetic material of the heat killed smooth bacteria automatically will transfer into the rough strain and make that rough strain into the smooth. It means genetic material of the bacteria is transferred by the medium only. So that method is known as the transformation. Third is the transduction. That means genetic material can be transferred from one bacteria to another bacteria with the help of the bacteriophage. Yes, what is the bacteriophage? The virus that will cause the disease in the bacteria is known as the bacteriophage. So in sexual reproduction, you can say conjugation, by the help of which genetic material will be transferred with the help of conjugation tube. In transformation, where genetic material will be transferred from one bacteria to other bacteria by the help of medium. And transduction, where genetic material will be transferred from one bacteria to another bacteria but with the help of bacteriophage. So I have written the example of bacteriophage also here, that is a T4, T4, T2, T4 and T7 also there, and lambda. So these are the reproduction about the asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. Now question is, what are the types of bacteria? How we can classify the bacteria? Bacteria are of two types mainly, archaeobacteria and the eubacteria. Yes, archaeobacteria is known as the oldest living fossil, and this question is so many times comes in the need also. Give the example of the oldest living fossil. These archaeobacteria is divided into three categories, because archaeobacteria is the bacteria that can live in found in everywhere in harsh conditions also. Like example, first methanogens. Methanogens are the bacteria that can produce the methane but in anaerobic conditions. Yes, these can found in the gut of ruminant animals also, and due to the presence of these methanogens, only ruminant animals are able to digest the grass or plant parts. So these methanogens will release the methane gas in anaerobic conditions. I have written the example here, Methanococcus or Methanobacterium. These methane gas is released nowadays can be used as a biogas by making the biogas plants, where we can use the dung of the ruminant animals for the production of biogas, which can use for the domestic we can use for the domestic daily activities like for the cooking and the lighting. Second is the halophiles. Halophiles are the bacteria which can live in the salty conditions in the seas and in the oceans. So they are able to tolerate the high salt concentration. So example is there Halococcus and Halobacterium. Third is the thermophiles, the bacteria which can live on the high temperature. That means they have the special enzyme to tolerate that high temperature. Example like the Thermus aquaticus is a bacteria that can live on the 100 degrees Celsius temperature also. We can say that 72 to 90 degree also feasible for the proper working of the enzymes in the Thermus aquaticus. So these are the bacteria that can live in the harsh conditions, but it is the oldest bacteria on the earth. Second is the eubacteria, that is also known as the true bacteria. One more thing we can say here, nutrition. How the archaeobacteria, what type of nutrition can be shown. It will include, it will make sometimes colonies, like I have written here, the nostoc and anabina, which are found in the form of colonies. But there is a special structure that is known as the heterocyst in the nostoc and anabina. This structure is mainly found, which will help in the nitrogen fixation, because nostoc and anabina that contain the heterocyst have a special enzyme that is known as the nitrogenase, which will help in the fixation of the nitrogen to the nitrates, and that nitrates can be used by the microbes. So eubacteria is known as the true bacteria, which can show three type of nutrition. I have written here autotrophic nutrition, where they can perform the photosynthesis with the help of some necessary proteins, pigments that is found over there. Example is the cyanobacteria. And second is the chemosynthetic microbes or the bacteria, which can make their food by breakdown of the chemicals. Chemicals means nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, hydrogen sulfides. So they can take the nitrogen and the sulfur along with hydrogen from there and also fix the carbon also with the help of carboxysols. So next we can say these both are the type of the autotrophic nutrition. Yes, and this is known as the heterotrophic because some of the microbacteria cannot make their food by themselves, so they are depend upon the others. That is why they are known as the heterotrophic bacteria. These include mainly decomposers which can make their food by dead and decaying matter. Bacteria is both of type, that means it can provide the benefits also, and it will cause the disease also for in the animals and in the plants also. One more example is there, that is known as the mycoplasma, that is known as the smallest bacteria on the earth. And one structure that I have told you that is mainly specially found in the bacteria, that is known as the plasmid, because this plasmid is only that is found in the bacteria, and for the purpose of this plasmid found in the bacteria, it is used for the genetic engineering, because nowadays one special branch has been arise that is known as the genetic engineering or biotechnology, which is now boom to the today's world, and that biotechnology is only possible with the help of the vectors, and that vector is the plasmid, because this is the special thing that is found in the bacteria which will help to carry the genes from one organisms to the other organisms, because bacteria have two type of genetic material. One is nucleoid and second is the plasmid. So these are the some important characteristics of the bacteria which is found in them, not in the others. Thank you, beta.